Do you remember the head secretary we had a couple of years ago? No, not that one. No, not that one. Gavin. The one that got us through the pandemic. Do you remember him? Remember the long list of things he did to help teachers and improve education? Do you remember that? Well, it turns out that was because he just really hated teachers and thought that during a pandemic, teachers just hated work and found any excuse not to teach. And before you say, like he's done, to try and get himself out rather than taking account of his words, this is just about the unions. Well, this comment isn't. The one where he's saying they'll just find any excuse to avoid having to teach. Now, am I shocked with these revelations? Surprised? No. This was the same head sec who was threatening legal action towards schools who were closing just before Christmas because COVID was being passed around like a wine bottle at number 10 during a lockdown. Turns out he was doing that for no other reason than just to continue this hatred towards the profession he's supposed to be representing. Teachers hate work. No, mate. Teachers hate what the government have done to our profession over the past decade. The lack of respect, the lack of support, the gaslighting, the way it's encouraged so many of the general public to speak down to teachers. Anyone in the real world knows that teachers worked incredibly hard during the pandemic. Schools were open. Teachers and school staff were in school each and every day for those vulnerable key worker children, whilst at the same time going over and above to do everything in their power to support those children through home learning during those lockdowns. Teachers isolating themselves, working in their own little bubble, not even able to interact with other adults, not even seeing their own family, staying away from their partners, their children, to try and keep the children they're teaching in class safe. No teacher enjoyed it. We wanted to be in school. We wanted to be doing our job. We wanted the children to be in school. All we wanted it to be was safe. Safe for our pupils, safe for their families, and safe for us. But every day, in every way, they continue to let down the profession. I mean, I'd go as far as to say, and correct me if you think I'm wrong here, but as a primary school teacher, I would go as far as to say I can't think of a single thing this government have implemented over the 13 years they've been in charge that have actually made teaching better. The recruitment, the retention crisis, the funding, the curriculum, lack of mental health support, the fact we've got the most tested generation of primary school children ever, the abuse teachers face, the behaviour issues in schools. The list could go on, but the funniest thing is Gavin, after everything he said there, is up for a knighthood.